Welcome, folks, to Rome, Caesar's Will, episode 22. And I believe it's time now to go to the trial. And if we win or lose, then I let the credits roll because, like it or not, this game deserves to have the credits shown to the world. So let us go to where the trial is going to be held.
One question torments all of Rome, Hercules Prasinus. Can you tell us who Brutus's father is?
Noble Brutus is known to have had two fathers, one who fathered him and the other who adopted him, whom I have named as the divine Caesar. Well, I, Hercules Prasinus, say here, before the people of Rome, that these two fathers were one and the same.
How can you prove that Caesar was Brutus's father?
The letter Caesar sent. I believe that's the best question. I mean, the best answer to that question.
Spare my son Brutus in the battle of Pharsalus. These were Caesar's own words to Mark Antony. I have in my possession the letter that Caesar hid in the statue of Cleopatra. Why did he go to this trouble? Why did he hide this letter so carefully? Because it is proof of Caesar's paternal affection for Brutus. Even though Caesar was Brutus's father, perfectly possible, given that Servilia was his mistress for many years. Indeed, Caesar's first will was in Brutus's favor. Pressed by the political struggle, and with the future of Rome at stake, Caesar chose to write a second will, in which he left out Brutus. His reason for doing so was that his son, an ardent republican, was opposed to his ideas. So the tyrant disinherited the son. But in the first will, it was as a father he put pen to paper. After all, in common with most Roman citizens, you probably think that when Caesar was stabbed by Brutus, he cried, "Tu quoque, mi fili?" You too, my son. But statements I've gathered from bystanders are clear. Caesar exclaimed, in Greek, "Ke su teknon," you too, my little one. This expression, much more affectionate than "tu quoque mi fili," at that tragic moment, was a definite sign of paternal link, stronger than simple adoption.
Hercules Prasinus, it seems you are insinuating that little Caesarion is not the son of the great Caesar. How can you dare to say this?
Some truths are hard to hear, but I believe that before the people of Rome, the only things unfit to be heard are lies. And I tell you that not only did Caesar not know Caesarion, he didn't father him either. Mark Antony, Caesar's close friend, also shared the bed of the dictator's mistress, Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt. People of Rome, Caesarion is the result of that union.
Your hypothesis is slanderous. Do you have any proof to support these assertions?
Let's do the stronger evidence if we can find it. That's kind of weak. Okay, so there's two pieces of evidence. That's more of a fourth one here. No, wait. I think that's pretty much that's about as close as I'm going to get.
There is also this pectoral where the names of Cleopatra and Mark Antony are engraved around that of Caesarion. A tender confession by overconfident parents. What if Mark Antony had a private reason for finding the will? The secret hope that Caesarion would be the beneficiary. Caesarion, whose father I claim to be Mark Antony, even though Caesarion, the son that Caesar never saw, cannot have had two fathers. But his mother Cleopatra had two lovers at the time he was conceived. Caesar, but also Mark Antony. We can therefore have our doubts. Caesarion, Caesar's son. Allow me to have my doubts. The same doubts expressed to me by Fulvia, Mark Antony's wife.
Hercules Prasinus, the Triumvir's alliance was sealed on the Isle of Reno, and they now govern Rome. Do you think Octavian wants to take over and rule alone?
People of Rome, Octavian is too clever politically to declare his ambitions openly. But of the three triumvirs, he is far from the least important. The triumvirate is merely a temporary solution in the conflict between the consul and the republicans. The time will come for the final struggle concerning Caesar's succession, and Octavian, his adopted son, will not allow himself to be pushed aside.
What do you mean, Hercules? Be more precise.
To take power. Well. Yes, but that doesn't really make any favor. He did sacrifice him. Let's see if there's anything stronger. That is true also. This is somewhat weak, I believe, but let's go with it.
Octavian's return to Rome was prompted by his quest to find Caesar's will, of which he hoped to be the main beneficiary. Moreover, Octavian undoubtedly craves power, and I'm not the only one to declare this. Caesar himself understood his great-nephew's abilities in making him the principal beneficiary of the second will. Who could resist the temptation of power after being designated by Caesar? Now, the tablet predicted, long before the dictator's death, the arrival of a divine shoot from a great tree who would save Rome from chaos after Caesar's death. A divine shoot. The expression was ambiguous and could be taken to mean natural son, adopted son, or trusted friend. Indeed, the history of Rome shows us that power cares little about friendship and feelings. Octavian has just demonstrated this by not hesitating to sacrifice his friend Cicero in order to conclude a pact with Mark Antony and Lepidus.
Hercules, in addition to the 24 conspirators now known to Rome, who are the accomplices, those who let the divine Caesar be murdered?
Of all those implicated in the murder, or those who supported the conspirators, if only by their silence, the most compromised, I tell you, is Mark Antony, Caesar's friend and his master of cavalry.
Hercules, what clues have come to light to support this theory?
Well, Mark Antony. Not much, is there? Because we know he was that's not a lot of information. Oh, to cover up, maybe? That's actually nice. I can.
It was in the greatest secrecy that Trebonius, one of the conspirators, warned Mark Antony in Narbonne of the plot being hatched against Caesar. Even though Mark Antony was not among the assassins, he was very careful not to warn Caesar. Did Mark Antony allow Caesar's murder to go ahead? One thing is certain. It was he who gave the order to Dolabella to kill Trebonius. Was this simply because he was one of the assassins? Or because a dark secret linked him to the consul? So, Cicero knew that Mark Antony had been warned in Narbonne about the conspiracy against Caesar. This secret cost the great orator his life, because Mark Antony, Caesar's friend, defender of his memory, the man who claimed to be continuing his work by relentlessly pursuing the conspirators, was also their accomplice through his failure to act. No, Mark Antony could not afford to leave any witnesses, especially not of Cicero's caliber. Now, who knows who is behind a murder better than the victim himself? Cicero returned from the dead to lay the blame firmly at Mark Antony's feet.
Hercules Prasinus, do you know why Mark Antony was so anxious to discover Caesar's will? What was he hoping or fearing to find?
All those wishing to take power in Rome have been looking for this will. Mark Antony, through his friendship with the late dictator, would have hoped to be the main beneficiary.
We do not understand what you are implying.
Okay, declared himself to execute the will. I think I have to reuse the fact that Mark Antony is the son, because if the son of Cleopatra benefits, so did he. I'm just going back and forth now. I have to find the one I want. I want these to be in a certain order. I think that would be the third one. I do fear that he there's one more. I want to do one more if I can find it. If it fits. I already saw that. Yeah.
There is also this pectoral where the names of Cleopatra and Mark Antony are engraved around that of Caesarion. A tender confession by overconfident parents. What if Mark Antony had a private reason for finding the will? The secret hope that Caesarion would be the beneficiary. Caesarion, whose father I claim to be Mark Antony. And so, after Caesar's death, Mark Antony moved too quickly, claiming to be the executor of Caesar's will. It was very much in his interest to find the will. Now, Mark Antony sought the will because he rightly feared that Octavian would be the main beneficiary and become a serious rival for power.
Hercules Prasinus, what has the mysterious tablet of Capys to do with this business? Is it true that it has magic powers, and is it connected with Rome?
This tablet is indeed magic, for what it contains could change the fate of the world.
The fate of the world? You'll have to provide more information to convince us, Hercules Prasinus.
All right, well, I'll go to the end. The seals predicted the Ides of March in the Civil War, the arrival of Caesar's. So I'm proving that it's powerful, and I'm proving what it's... He hid them because he knew how powerful they were. They predicted... Wrong one. Yeah.
When Caesar discovered the contents of this tablet while he was alive, he judged them to be so dangerous that he hid it and kept it for whoever would be the future master of Rome's destiny. Indeed, men are weak, and Caesar proved to be so in more way than one with Cleopatra. In an unguarded moment, he must have divulged the contents of this tablet to her. After Caesar's death, Cleopatra could not help but see a bright future for her son Caesarion in the omens that Caesar had told. Now, let nobody tell me that these are the words of charlatans. The tablet announced in barely veiled terms the assassination of the dictator. Events proved this to be true. And did Caesar's caution in hiding the contents prevent destiny from taking its course? Now, the tablet predicted, long before the dictator's death, the arrival of a divine shoot from a great tree who would save Rome from chaos after Caesar's death. A divine shoot. The expression was ambiguous and could be taken to mean natural son, adopted son, or trusted friend.
Hercules Prasinus, when your investigation is over, will you be able to prove that Aurelia is innocent and that she has been freed with good cause?
I tell you that she has been the indirect victim of a conspiracy. What was disguised as a crime of passion was in fact the murder of a troublesome witness, whose revelations would have threatened the man holding power in Rome.
This is a somewhat flimsy demonstration, Hercules Prasinus. Perhaps you could be more explicit.
All right. I need to first start off with... Okay. I'm going to look over everything before I say anything. Alright, I think it's the paper. Maybe kept his letters. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Friend of Jesus. This looks a little confusing. All right. They're not asking me who did that. Did she poison? The answer, of course, is no. The problem is, that's the more coherence. Let's see if that works.
The love potion that Aurelia ordered from Locusta was replaced by a phial of poison. I have in my possession a threatening letter that bears witness to this trickery. Aurelia could not have been the author. Also, I can confirm that Locusta changed the contents of the phial. The herbalist replaced the love potion with deadly poison. However, the orders Scribonius received to kill Titinius were marked by an unknown seal. Can we really believe they came from Aurelia? Scribonius was in her service. Why would she need to write orders whose author could only be from outside the household? Clearly, on the evidence, this was far from a venal crime, or one of passion. I have finally discovered whose seal was used on the orders that were sent to Scribonius, leading him to commit his unpardonable act. This is a terrible accusation that I am about to utter. The seal belongs to Mark Antony.
Finally, Hercules Pressinus, you who seek to prove Aurelia's innocence, know that in Rome no crime can go unpunished. So, who was the person acting in secrecy who sent Titinius beyond the Styx?
The hand that poured the poison was guided by a powerful figure seeking to destroy the evidence of his consent to the murder of Caesar.
Perhaps you should make yourself clearer. We're not here to play guessing games, Hercules Pressinus.
Yeah, okay, this is it. This is, Yeah, it was because they're friends. I think I'm going to end up doing... Alright, that's about as close as I'm going to get on that one, too.
It is usual in a murder investigation to check whether other crimes could have been committed by the same killer. Cicero was killed shortly after his friend and confidant Titinius. Titinius's murderer could have been the same person who so wanted Cicero dead, and the one who signed the papers making him an outlaw, the one I name Mark Antony. Because if Titinius's murder was not mercenary or a crime of passion, and if Aurelia is innocent as I claim, then perhaps the real motive for the killing was Titinius's knowledge of certain secrets. This letter in my possession, initially addressed to Trebonius by Cicero, then kept by Titinius, reveals Mark Antony's links with the conspirators. In another message addressed to Titinius, Cicero warned him of the danger of keeping the first letter. Where could this danger have come from, if not from the author himself, who I have revealed to be Mark Antony? But who was Scribonius's real master? Titinius, whose house he shared, or Mark Antony, with whom Pamphylia saw him engaging in mysterious negotiations? Then, Pamphylia testifies seeing Mark Antony putting his seal to a mysterious document that he then gave personally to Scribonius. This document was undoubtedly the orders that I have in my possession, on which Scribonius, in order to protect himself, insisted Mark Antony place his seal.
Hercules, can you tell us why Cicero was assassinated and humiliated after his death by having his blood-stained remains displayed on the rostra?
Depriving Rome of its illustrious orator required an alliance between his worst enemy and one of his best friends. Two men greedy for power.
Could you elaborate on this assertion so that we can clearly understand what it involves?
Cicero's gifted oratory made him many enemies. First among them Mark Antony, who was the target of the famous Philippics. So, Cicero knew that Mark Antony had been warned in Narbonne about the conspiracy against Caesar. This secret cost the great orator his life, because Mark Antony, Caesar's friend, defender of his memory, the man who claimed to be continuing his work by relentlessly pursuing the conspirators, was also their accomplice through his failure to act. No, Mark Antony could not afford to leave any witnesses, especially not of Cicero's caliber. Thus, Octavian was Cicero's friend, but he sacrificed him to Antony to seal their alliance. Octavian has no scruples, but it was Mark Antony who demanded Cicero's head. Moreover, the hand of Herennius, the same that mercilessly cut off Cicero's head and hands. This is the hand that wielded the sword on Mark Antony's orders in the battles of Pharsalus, Thapsus. The hand of Herennius, the same that mercilessly cut off Cicero's head and hands. This is the hand that wielded the sword on Mark Antony's orders in the battle of Pharsalus, Thapsus, and Munda. Why would it have behaved any differently on the tragic beach at Gaeta?
Hercules, whether a murderess or not, does Aurelia know of another secret in this sinister affair?
Aurelia is innocent, as I have always said. She has confided her secret to me, and it concerns the very fate of Rome.
And what does it involve, precisely?
That's about as far as I could go there.
Aurelia knew where Caesar's second will, the document so coveted by Octavian, Antony, and many others besides, was hidden. The Temple of Vesta, that guards the flame of the city, also protected Caesar's will. But what Roman does not dream of uncovering the secrets of the Vestals? The hiding place of the will was one of these. And so, before she married Titinius, Aurelia was a Vestal, a keeper of the city's flame. So what was Aurelia's connection with this whole story? She was the only one who could obtain the will from the Temple of Vesta.
The plebeians now swear by your talents as a lawyer and orator. You have a fine career before you, it seems. I need men of your caliber, so stay by me. But before your service to the Republic begins, you have earned yourself a rest. A boat awaits you at the port of Ostia. Have no fear. Aurelia will join you soon. She's now getting ready in her house. Go and wait for her on the quay. She won't be long in coming.
Really? Uh-huh.
But where's Aurelia? She's taking an awfully long time to get ready. What's going on?
She's coming. She's coming. You men are so impatient. Just wait a little longer.
Ah, here she comes at last. That seemed like such a long wait.
Ah, Hercules. Let's catch up on all those years on board Octavian's trireme.
And
Too late. Hercules won't be coming to help you again. Follow me.
okay, that was somewhat weird.